of owners think that their biggest problem is marketing. They believe if they could just get more leads, everything else would just work itself out. But what if more leads actually makes a struggling business worse? Stay with me. You're going to want to find out right now on the latest episode of The Franchise Builder.
Hi, I'm Peter Karunas, husband, father of 4, and Chief Growth Officer of a home service franchise system. This channel is about real conversations on franchising, the trades, and building a business that actually lasts. And in each episode, I break down the lessons, the mistakes, and opportunities that I see every day inside of the home services industry so that you can make more informed decisions along the way. Thank you so much for being here, and let's jump right on into it.
My name is Peter Karunas, and I've watched businesses double their marketing budget while their profits stayed exactly the same. Let's talk about why marketing alone won't save your broken home service business and what actually here needs to happen before lead generation actually starts to work for you. A rule of thumb here. Let's get this out of the way. Marketing is important. There's no question about that. Without leads, you don't have opportunities. Without marketing, you cut the head of the snake off. But leads here are only the first step in the revenue process. See, what happens after the phone rings is what determines whether marketing works. Let's start with call handling for a moment. When a potential customer calls your business, they're usually calling because something in their home is not to their liking or is not working. They're stressed. They need help quickly, perhaps. And if that call goes unanswered, or the person answering sounds rushed or unhelpful, the opportunity here disappears instantly. Customers in our line of work don't wait around. They call the next company. That's what they do. The next place to really focus in on, though, is scheduling. See, even if the call is handled very well, poor scheduling can create friction for your customer, for the caller. Long wait times, unclear arrival windows, lack of communication, lack of customer service, all of these things reduce trust before the technician even gets a chance to arrive at the doorstep. And then comes the in-home experience now, okay? This is where, whether you're a plumber or a drywall technician or an electrician or a painter, this is where that technician in your company becomes the face of the company that they are representing. Professionalism here matters most importantly here. Clear expectations also matter very importantly here. But most of all, confidence is going to matter here. If the technician struggles to explain the problem or present solutions clearly, the customer is going to hesitate. The customer always will hesitate. And hesitation here lowers conversion. How many times have you heard the, let me think about it, I'm unsure, I want to talk it over with my spouse, my husband, my wife, my business partner? Enough. It's because they are hesitant to move forward with you, push past all of those objections. As a little tip here, when somebody tells you, hey, I want to think about it, that's not the real objection. Push through that to get to the real objection. So back to the video. We're talking about hesitancy and how it lowers conversion, but when you leave that house, your opportunity to make a sale plummets the moment you leave that opportunity. But then there's the follow-up, and this is actually where a lot of businesses lose significant revenue. How is your follow-up game? What is it that you do? How many times do you reach out to a customer? How many times are you pushing for that sale? Are you just calling and leaving a voicemail? Are you shooting a text? Do you have software? Do you have systems that recognize an unsold opportunity and won't give up on that opportunity until somebody says, stop and leave me alone? But the follow-up game here, this is where a lot of businesses lose significant revenue. An estimate gets delivered. The customer does say they need time to think about it, and then nothing happens. How many times has that actually happened to you? But there's a lot of businesses out there that aren't taking the time to perform a follow-up call or a reminder. There's just no second conversation happening. The opportunity that you went to simply just fades away. Now, imagine what happens when marketing improves. More leads come in, right? But if those systems aren't strong in your business, then more leads are just going to create more lost opportunities. And then here's the real kicker here. This is what most owners come to me about, is that most owners here are going to blame marketing when this happens. But the real issue is conversion. It's not your leads. The leads don't suck. That's a line from one of my favorite movies. The leads don't suck. You suck.
The leads are weak.
The leads are weak. You're weak.
Great businesses and great business owners understand the entire journey. There's lead generation. There's call handling. There's scheduling. There's the technician performance in the home. There's the follow-up sequencing from the office and the side of the technician. Each step here matters in home services. And when each step improves, marketing becomes dramatically more effective. Now, I want to give you another tip here when it comes to the marketing lead gen aspect here. I was in a meeting last week or so, and the person I was talking with had said something on this meeting. She was very vocal about this, but if you're just getting started in home services and you're trying to make your marketing work, you have to understand the chain of how to get that done to become more of a engine for you in the future. So let's take a look at like you're in the painting company here, you own a painting or a plumbing company, doesn't really matter, and you buy a lead from Angie or Angie's List or Home Advisor or whatever they call themselves these days. And that lead comes to you. Now there's a dollar amount that you paid for that lead, and it starts a conversation. And I'm going to play positive Pete here today, and we're going to say that you book that job and you get the job, you make an estimate, you get the job, and you perform that job, and you do a really nice job in that case. So in that winning scenario, you got a lead, you got an estimate, you got a job, great. The key for an owner is to make sure that that happens more often than not, right? So that's the journey by which you have to succeed in. That Angie lead, if you got a Google review from that lead, now your organic ranking improves. So you paid for a lead with a lead aggregator, and you received a Google review on your local Google My Business page. That's going to be what Google wants to raise your organic ranking, right? That the more reviews that you're getting, the more frequent your reviews and the more relevant your reviews are, your organic rankings increase over a period of time. So how at the velocity of which you are getting those reviews. Now, there's a couple of pieces to that I can get into here from a marketing perspective. Number one, Google's very smart. So when a review happens in this zip code, it knows that IP address, it pings that geotagged review spot, and it's like, oh, they service this location or around this vicinity. So you're now getting reviews at little spots all over the map, and that's going to help improve your outbound reach of your consumer base. Number two, though, the more that this happens, the more focus from owners in making sure that this happens means that over time, this is what's going to happen. The Angie's going to be less important, and Google's going to be more important. And you're going to rely less on your paid lead aggregates than your organic will take over. Whether you're doing SEO or just your generalized painter near me or plumber near me keyword ranking is going to improve. So from an ownership perspective, that's got to be your perspective on how to improve lead gen quality to replace the need for your pay-per-lead strategy. So there's your helpful tip there. Marketing doesn't fix broken systems. It amplifies them if not done properly. So before you chase after more leads, make sure that your processes can convert them. That's going to be the number one thing that you have to realize coming out of this video, is that you have all of those segments that you need to shore up before you can invest more in a lead generation process. I hope you learned something from this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, hit that little bell, hit that little plus icon on the right side, and follow us for more, because I drop more weekly videos here on everything from estimating to marketing to making decisions as an owner, and really trying to zero in on everything about home business ownership and why franchising might be a good thing for you. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me on The Franchise Builder.
If you got any value from this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any future episodes that I'm going to drop. Because I release new, brief videos regularly covering franchising, the trades, and what it really takes to build a business that lasts in this industry. Thank you for watching The Franchise Builder, and I'll see you on the next episode. Coming up this season on The Franchise Builder.
Growth happens when the owner focuses on building the environment where others can perform in. Hiring strong people, that becomes a necessary daily focus for you, constantly evaluating the people around you.